I'm very excited to be here tonight.
You sound it. Josh?
Well, hello there. I am Hunter Pierrot, and a Riva Dirci.
Oof.
I just, every time I want to do the accent, I imagine that scene from Glorious Bastards, and I've got it.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Hi, I'm a wonderful Ravnos, having a great time, being a bit of a smooth brain, but trying to figure things out, so I can't wait.
Thank you. Hunter is doing excellently. Kitsu? You are muted?
I am no longer muted, I hope. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I am Kitsu, and I play Astrid, who is in the middle of a lot of shit, apparently, and she's the local Tremere.
She is. She is the local Tremere. It's a good way to describe her. Harry?
Hi, I am Harry, aka the Salubri Cat, and I am playing Galen Somnus, a veterinarian Salubri who is, well, I could be having a better time.
I suppose so. All right, if everyone is ready, let's start, let's begin, and let's continue our vampire story. Unlife is painful and restless. It gets complicated at the worst of times, and sometimes you have no idea where to go or what to do. Some kindred just let themselves get lost, opening their arms wide to the void of complacency. But others keep trying. They push past the things that threaten them and all the memories that haunt them. Perhaps this is why our coterie finds themselves on the bridge that is the intercoastal waterway over the Waccamaw River, with a mortally wounded ghoul shot by Astrid. The threats from the Prince of Charlotte, the danger posed by Tender Sugar, and the ominous messages Sarah gave the coterie before disappearing will either push these kindred forward or down into the abyss, and only they can decide. Astrid, as we discussed, you would like to use Sense the Unseen to see if you can see Sarah still on the bridge. Is that correct? You may ask Galen to assist you since he also has that ability. Wits and Auspex. And
Alrighty.
Anthony and Hunter, if I could very briefly get your current level of willpower, since both of you spent quite a bit, and your hunger.
That is 4 willpower left and 2 hunger.
Excellent. Anthony?
And 4 willpower for me as
My
well.
word, just my
And 1 hunger.
Excellent.
wits, because apparently it... Okay, grand total of 1 success.
Astrid?
I've got
3 successes.
total. No, wait, that's just my. It doesn't, like, when I roll aspects, it doesn't want to add up my wits.
Okay, that's
so,
strange.
I rolled them separately.
Oh, okay, sure.
So
Just roll me your
4,
level of
actually.
wits. That is 4, and I will count Galen's as well as assisting you. That's 5 successes. You look past the car as you're all standing on this bridge. It's almost the stroke of midnight. You see Sarah clearly. She's standing on the railing of the bridge, the red dress that she's wearing flapping in the wind. She sees you look at her. She smiles. And she lets herself fall back. If you'd like to try and catch her before she falls down this 10-foot drop or 3-meter drop, you can try. But it will require a bit of successes.
I'll try, but it's 10 feet. Like, what would that be?
You do not have to try, but you can.
Dex Athletics or a
Dex Athletics.
I'm not very good at this, but we'll see.
I actually don't do anything.
Understood.
I just
Galen?
stand there. Very
Yeah, I went
shocked.
to try to grab. I rolled 2 successes.
Not enough.
Oop.
Astrid and Galen, you both see Sarah. You see her fall back, arms wide, as she lets herself fall down into the Waccamaw River. If you look down over the edge, it looks like crimson blood in dark water as she floats south. Astrid, you know where the mouth of the Waccamaw ends up. Exactly where your sire is. The rest of you, you know that this is dangerous. You're in the middle of a bridge that is well trafficked, maybe not at this time of night. A car could come by at any moment. There is a ghoul that needs medical attention or medical intervention. And your limo driver is not one of your entourage. He will need to be dealt with.
Yeah. Anthony, you seem the most equipped to deal with this kind of thing.
Normally I would ask what makes you say that, but that is a correct assumption. I will deal with the limousine driver.
Hunter, what are you doing?
Hunter is Hunter's gonna go up to Astrid and say, "Get in your ghoul's car and I will join you. The other two, you can sort out the limo.
I believe we can.
We should meet at Azaz. You know where that is?
I do.
Then I'll see you there." And
So that I understand this correctly, Anthony and Galen are going in the limo, Hunter and Astrid in the SUV.
Correct.
I tell Jodrick to move if he can, so I can. Oh, I help him move so I can get into the driver's seat.
Thiedrick is in shock. He's not super coherent. Galen, an important question. Do you take your lab coat with him or do you leave it on Thiedrick?
I'm gonna take it.
When you reach into the SUV to take the lab coat, you see something in your lab coat pocket. The pocket where you were keeping your ketamine shot. It's not there. It's been replaced with one of those sprigs of lavender that was in Victoria's hair. Anthony, I'm sorry, Chris, are you raising your hand?
Yes, just for clarification, our limousine driver is by no way associated with us.
No.
Is that coterie? I see.
No,
Rental.
correct.
I see.
So Galen, you take the lab coat?
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony, do you instruct the driver to drive you somewhere, or do you cloud his memory first?
I will, of course, go up to the driver's window, knock on it.
He looks very tense. He's holding onto the steering wheel with his black gloves. He's sweating. He saw everything.
You have no memory of what just happened.
For an unsuspecting mortal, it requires no roll and works immediately. He relaxes, moves his hands back down to 10 and 2, adjusts his shirt collar. Where to, sir?
Alligator
Adventure.
adventure. That's the word.
Right away. Galen, do you enter the vehicle?
Yeah, I'll get in.
Alrighty. Hunter, who is driving the SUV? Thiedrick cannot.
If-
Oh,
If Astrid gets in the driving seat, then that's fine. Otherwise, he does it. 'Cause I know
Astrid?
she moved over.
I guess if he's in shock, I try to lean the seat down and sort of try to take care of him best I can.
So you want to put him in the back so that you can monitor him and have Hunter drive?
Yeah, maybe that's a better idea.
Understood. Hunter, Dex drive. Make sure that you can get them there safely. Anthony, when you sit down in the back with Galen, you feel this strange crinkle in your suit. And you reach in. It's the pocket where you keep your photograph, your Polaroid. You pull out one of those twinkly lights that Sarah was touching around the palm tree. She somehow placed it in your pocket, in that pocket, when you weren't looking.
Is the photograph still there?
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right.
Hunter, what was your dex drive?
It was a 1.
A 1 is enough. The Intracoastal Waterway is a straight through. You can travel it from Maine to Florida if you wanted to. It'll take you some time to get there. It'll take some time to get there. But Hunter, as you seat yourself, turn over the ignition. Feel something in your back pocket. Something that wasn't there when you left.
Yeah, I take it out.
It is a locket. A very old locket. You might have something like this in Pirate's Voyage in a display case, 18th century. When you open it, inside are 2 miniatures, paintings. One of Anne Bonny, before she was blinded, and Calico Jack. You really do look like him, but you have her eyes.
We've got to escape this.
I agree. I don't. How? That's the question. How? I think Sarah has a plan. That may involve more than just, wanting to give herself over. But I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. But, yeah, that's all I got. This is just, there's a lot going on.
We said it earlier. Our best bet might be finding the people who have been making this black tender sugar.
And then what?
And then we do whatever we need to fight the prince, your sire, the baron, whoever else comes up against us. Isaiah has something to show us though, so that's where we're starting.
Astrid, as you cradle Theodric's head in your lap, you also see something that was not in your jacket pocket before you left this evening. In your pocket is the picture you had given Frankie. Sarah was down with you in Galen's clinic. She must have taken it from him when no one was looking. For some reason, she seems to be an incredibly good pickpocket. She's done something to the picture. Over Saul's face, she's ripped out a square. Anthony and Galen, is there anything you'd like to discuss on your travel to Alligator Adventure?
There is. Dr. Galen, of course, make sure that the chauffeur is not listening as we're talking about this. Dr. Galen, I would like to offer my apologies for letting the beast overtake me previous night.
Your apologies accepted.
Thank you. I would also like to ask you what this coterie means to you. Be blunt, be honest. I'm merely curious what you see me, Hunter and Astrid, as.
That is a difficult question to answer. I would say that you all, to me, are sort of an opportunity. Not that sounds cynical, of course, but I don't mean it in that way. Anthony, to me, it seems like you've forgotten what it means to have been human.
It's a curious thing to say. A curious
You wonder
way to dodge
why
my
I
question.
behave. You wonder why I behave the way I do.
I wonder why you're putting the coterie at risk. Because you have trouble with authority.
It's not that simple, Anthony.
Enlighten
I
me.
have beliefs. I have principles. I have not lost sight of those.
Mhm.
My passing, well, I wouldn't call it passing, more of my step off the mortal coil into the immortal one, is, to me, at least I try to not let it do to me what it's done to so many others. I look at you, Anthony, and frankly, I'm afraid. Not because I'm necessarily afraid of you, but because I'm afraid that one day I could become like you.
It's a very interesting take, Dr. Galen, because to me, you seem like a man who is not willing to make any kind of sacrifice. At all. You do not seek to stray from your conviction, and you don't seem to care that much if other people get trampled for you to get what you want.
What would you know about sacrifice, Anthony?
Oh, I know quite a bit about sacrifice, Doctor.
Yes, it's clear you
Let me
sacrificed any
clarify to
principles
you.
you had in life for a
That
successful
is
unlife.
very interesting of you to say. What do you know about me, Dr. Galen? What do you
what
know
you've
about me?
become.
What have I become, Dr. Galen?
A monster. A borderline animal.
You make me blush. What have I done during our time together that has been monstrous? What have I done that shows that I have lost track of humanity? Is it the blood in my body? Is that it? The fact that I was picked by a fiend, embraced against my will, buried beneath thick 6 feet of dirt, forced to claw my way up through it and fight in a war I had no interest in. Is that what makes me a monster? I do not tolerate when my coterie is threatened. I do not tolerate when what I hold dear is going to be taken away from me. I would say, Dr. Galen, that your flagrant disregard of human life makes you so much more of a monster than I can ever be. My apologies.
You have no need to apologize for speaking the truth. You may be right. I suppose that when asked to play within these rules, that I, for the most part, don't agree with, find abhorrent, my refusal to can be rather dangerous. To be honest, I think some things are more important than my life or the lives of our coterie.
Then may I offer you a piece of advice?
And what would that be?
Tell the coterie what those things are, so we can also make that decision. You do not own our lives. It is not for you to decide what we die for.
Perhaps.
No, Not perhaps. You are not the leader of this coterie.
That's
and even
correct.
if you were, you have no right.
Perhaps I have no right, perhaps. I don't think you understand my circumstance, Anthony.
Enlighten me.
I walk a thin line. I have ever since my embrace. I can't afford to become invested in coteries. I've had to move many times. I found something good here, and I want to preserve that at all costs. Now, pardon me for saying this, but to me, coteries present a massive risk. I'm asked to go and expose myself to a world I want nothing to do with, and frankly, a world that wants to destroy me. So you'll have to forgive me if I come off as uncaring. I want to be done with this.
And as I told you before, Dr. Galen, this is what we are. There is an easy way out of it. And I appreciate your candor. So for now, I will back off. But you have yet, in my eyes, to become a member of this coterie.
That doesn't bother me, Anthony.
Glad to hear it. I wouldn't want that keeping me awake during the day.
Well, with that out of the way,
Ooh.
as you, both of you, the limo first and the SUV behind, you all pull into a familiar establishment. Alligator Adventure. It is a round building made up entirely of what looks like beechwood, although it's probably mock beechwood, just for the aesthetic. And it's surrounded by a man-made lake. And to get to the building, you must cross a narrow bridge. Astrid, you've only been here once, on a night you wish you could forget. Strange to be back here. Do you all exit the vehicle? You see Isaiah's familiar Volkswagen bus in the parking lot. You also hear music. It's music from the 60s, you think. Might be Magic Carpet Ride. It's a little hard to hear from all the way out here. And the lights are on.
Everyone have a nice ride?
Enlightening. An enlightening ride.
We worked out some issues.
I wouldn't go that far, but I think we made some progress.
What I like to hear. Now, my good friend Isaiah here, I would very much like him to take a fucking step up and maybe into the boots of Baron Park. I don't know what everyone else feels about this, but it's either him or Victoria.
Yeah.
Unless any of you want to do it.
Absolutely not.
Well, that's not a no, Astrid.
I would never. I don't think I have what it takes to lead this whole thing. But that aside, I know some things about Isaiah, and I am prone to agree that I would very much prefer to see him in their place.
Well, he called me earlier and said he wanted to show me something, so let's go find out what that is. Maybe we can tell him what happened at that cam party. It was a pretty good party. Aside from some things. Let's go.
An important question. Do you take Diedrich with you?
Yeah, that's the question. Can he stand? Did he get together? Like, I'm talking to him. I'm like, it's okay.
He can stand and he can walk, but
How is
he's
his
a
wound?
little out of it. It is not bleeding. The tourniquet is holding, but he looks extraordinarily suspicious and frightened of all of you.
Okay, I need you to rest, okay? Please stay in the car here, okay?
If he can stand, he can run.
He's just human, it's fine. Just lay down on the seat, okay?
He does
And-
as you instruct.
Rest a little bit. I'll be back, okay?
Yes, Miss Astrid.
Okay.
Do you lock him in?
Stay
Do you,
here.
do you lock him into the car, or do you just instruct him to stay in the car?
I instruct him to stay in the car and I take the keys with me.
Hmm.
Just in case.
Alrighty.
Because technically, he could take the car somewhere and still stay in the car. So
As Hunter said, if he can walk, he can run. But as you believe that you have instructed him and that he will listen, you all make your way across the rickety bridge. Of course, the smell here is unpleasant. It smells like a swamp. Galen, you're quite familiar with this smell. It hardly even registers with you. You have been taking care of the alligators here at Alligator Adventure for the last couple of decades. First for Baron Lencho, and then for Isaiah. And you see them in the water. They are swarming. They are coming up to look at you and going back down. And as you get closer to the door, you see a man sitting there. It's a black man. He's wearing a red shirt with a little pocket in it, flared out jeans, and he's holding a shotgun. Galen, you know who this is. This is Oliver.
Ew.
It's Isaiah's friend, or you think maybe his ghoul, but you're not sure. And he says, "Well, good evening, folks. Isaiah said we'd be having some company. I thought he meant the pretty lady, but I guess he meant y'all."
Well, it's a little bit early in the night to make any certain distinctions just yet.
I'm sure Galen
Well,
could make a very pretty lady.
Oh, the pretty lady's inside. Of course, I know you, Dr. Somnus. I don't recognize you, but you're the guy who owns Pirate's Voyage, right?
That's the one.
I love that place.
I'm very
I
glad to hear it.
I love going there sometimes when my grandkids come to visit. I take them to see the boat show, you know, where they're swinging around and swashbuckling and stuff. Oh man, they love it.
I do too. I'm very glad to hear that.
Isaiah's waiting inside. He's back with the alligators in the pen.
Right. I don't suppose you have a description of this pretty lady.
Sure. She's short. She's got flowers in her hair. And nice dress on.
Hunter visibly relaxes. I think that's Victoria, right? If that's not Victoria, then we're in deeper shit.
That's her
than
name.
this,
She said her name was Victoria. That's her name.
Wonderful. Oh. Butterflies in my stomach just flew away. Let's lead us through.
I'm sorry. I gotta stay out here. Orders from the boss. You know how it is. But Isaiah said when his company came to send them to the pen in the back.
Gotcha.
Alrighty.
I'm Oliver, by the way. Nice to meet y'all.
nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Anthony, nice to meet you.
Just nods at you. Music is coming from his boombox that he has sitting next to him. And he's sitting in a lawn chair with his shotgun.
Listen, fellow.
As you all enter, the place it smells no better than on the outside. It smells a little bit worse because there's less ventilation in here. Everything is moist and tepid because alligators live in here, reptiles live in here, bats live in here. Everything that requires a moist, warm, tropical environment. Which, of course, in the winter, in the Grand Strand, doesn't get super cold, but it definitely doesn't sustain what the alligators need. So it's manufactured in here. And as you walk through, everywhere is alligator paraphernalia, carvings of beechwood and little figurines and plush toys that you can buy in the gift shop. And Galen, you lead the way. You're the most familiar with this place. You know exactly where the pens are, where all the alligators tend to sleep at night. And you see Isaiah. He's down there in the pen. A dozen or more alligators are crawling around him, crawling over each other. And he has his arm out. He's cut a big slit into it. And the alligators are coming up and lapping at the blood on his arm. If you'd like to get his attention, you can.
I'll just clear my throat.
He looks up. Hey, Doc. Nice to see ya.
It's good to see you too. You sure you should be feeding those alligators that?
I've been ghouling these are Lenchos. I only ghouled the ones that Lencho had because if I don't, they're probably going to die or something. I really don't know what happens when a ghoul loses its master, so I've been doing this since I took over the place. The other ones, though, they're just regular alligators. I feel bad. I can't help it. I'm an animal lover.
Yeah, I get that.
Hey, do I know you? And he looks at you, Astrid, as he stands up and rebuttons his shirt.
Yes.
I know you.
Yes, you do.
Dorothy. He grabs his head as if it hurts to look at you, Astrid. Why do I know you? Who are you?
You were negotiating to keep me. Remember? You don't remember me? You don't remember?
He looks visibly angry, frustrated. His eyes are darting back and forth, and his head stays against his hand. His hand stays against his head. All of you are aware that his memories have been tampered with. You've all heard it more than once. He's trying his hardest to remember Astrid, but it doesn't look like he can. I need you. Everybody come inside. Right now. Let's go inside.
Okay.
All right.
He leaps up out of the pen that's a few feet down where visitors can't get to, effortlessly, with no issue, and leaps over the railing where all of you are standing. He leads you into the gift shop, and you're surrounded by alligators that look way too happy in every possible form. Hunter, who is this? Who is this?
She's our friend. Her name is Astrid.
I know her. I know the name. This
She's
fucking...
been tied up with those thin bloods that you know so well.
That
Here.
sparks something.
I take out the picture and I gave it to him.
Saul's face is not in that picture anymore.
Yeah, I know, but
Sarah has ripped a square into it. He takes the picture.
The one that's missing the face is Soul.
You were Saul's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Where is he?
I don't know.
My memory's been messed with. What clan are you?
Tremere, but
His eyes turn red. Is your sire Dean?
I look at the others. Yes.
I'm gonna step forward a bit. Put my hand up to calm
But you were there the night when everyone was like, it wasn't like that. He didn't choose me. Do you remember anything about the Daughters of Oblivion?
He starts rubbing his head again. I don't know. But I know Dean's responsible for why I'm like this.
What?
Your sire. How did he sire you? Where is he?
He sired me because, okay, so Halloween night, do you remember anything about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come this way.
What? Okay.
He takes you by the hand, Astrid. His eyes have gone back to normal. He leads you out behind to an exterior building. It's a large shed where you might keep.
I start a little bit like worriedly.
Tools and things like that.
May I
Are you all following?
Yes.
If you would wish.
Yes.
He puts in the code, has an electronic pad on it. He opens the door. And inside, you see several beds, hospital beds. You see 5 people on these beds, hooked up to machines, Galen, that you would recognize as EKG machines and life support machines. Victoria is in there as well. She's sitting on the bed of one of these humans, a female, brushing the hair out of their face. You want to talk about Halloween night? Let's start here. I have been trying for months to get my memories to come back. I asked everyone. The only thing I could figure out is that there were people who were rescued out of that haunted house where the Baron died. I went to Seacoast Medical. I went to find them. They've been in a coma since the haunted house incident. The doctors don't know what's wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them. They won't come out of it. I went there. Somebody was taking blood from one of them. Not a doctor. I flipped out, killed the fucker. He nudges you, elbows you, Hunter. Still want me to be Baron? I got into debt with every fucking kindred save you guys that I know to get them out and bring them here.
I think you may have just... Wait a minute. Do you perhaps know who you killed?
Reaches into his pocket. I killed him so good. This was the only thing I could pull out of the goo I left behind. It's a matchbox. And he throws it at you, Anthony. All it says on it is Sunrise Cruise. Cruise spelled with a Z.
Sunrise Cruise. I think we have a lead in our Tender Sugar investigation.
I seem to recall. Well, no, we found a matchbox before, but that was not the same one. That was for another place.
You can smoke everywhere in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Astrid, as you stand there, looking at all these people, you recognize some of them. They were with you that night in the haunted house. As well, in the same way that you can feel Sarah, she's nearby, the only way that you can, and other Daughters of Oblivion can, you feel all of them in that same way, as if a piece of the darkness inside of you is inside of them.
I activate Oblivion Sight. And I look at him and go, can I go in? I've seen these people before. I was with them.
He holds his hand out wide for you to go in.
I take my hand back.
He looks at you, Hunter. I don't know what happened that night. I don't know what happened to these people. I don't know Daughters of Oblivion. I don't know. I don't remember. But I knew I had to get them out. I am in debt up to my fucking gills over this, but I had to get them out. I brought them here. I've ghouled doctors. I'm bribing people. I've got boons owed to kindred that I'll never be able to repay. But I had to get them out.
Raises an interesting question. Why did you not go to us? Of all the kindred of Myrtle Beach, why not us?
I wanted to at least have someone that I could look in the face and not owe them something.
Would have helped you out for free.
Well, how the hell was I supposed to know that? None of our kind do that.
Of course we don't. But, well,
I don't help people for free, but if you want to be able to repay people, don't you think you'd be able to do that better as Baron? People ask much of a Baron. And if they trust you, they have something over you, and they all think it, they're more likely to put you in there. You might have to do some shit. But at least you're
He looks over
to do something about it.
to Victoria, the end of the room, still sitting with this human. Really, it should go to her. She ran Myrtle Beach. Lenjo didn't. Things were fine until she left.
If it's you saying it, then I'm behind it.
I'd be more than willing to help her out. But with the shit I put myself in to save these people for reasons I can't remember, it is just not something I want to dish on my plate right now.
If I tell you what I know, do you think it will help?
I don't know. Doc, I know you can mess with people's minds.
I don't know if I can undo what's been done.
Well, try! But
You
let
know
me
you
try
can-
first. But, okay. I deactivate... Well, first of all, I look at all the people that are... Just give me a minute. I look at the people that are laying down.
Mm-hmm.
I just
They're dressed-
nod
they're
to
dressed-
Victoria.
In Johnny's,
Mm.
they have blankets over them. Looks like Isaiah takes great care to make sure that they are changed, changes their bedpans. He implied he has doctors come in and check on them, that he's ghouled. They'll look in fair condition.
I go to the first one nearby.
It's a young man. You remember him. He was with you before the wall moved. It's in that group with you. Before you were alone.
Okay. I carefully lean over with Oblivion Sight still activated, and I try to place my hand on his forehead
You do so.
and just stroke his hair and go like, "Can you hear me? I'm here. I can feel you. It's going to be okay.
There's no response from him.
Please."
He's motionless.
Okay.
They are all motionless.
Okay. That didn't do anything.
It was worth a try.
It was worth the try. I just straighten up. I just turn to the others. Try not to show my back to Victoria out of respect.
Victoria has risen. She's come back to the group. She stands next to Isaiah. She doesn't say anything.
So the whole situation that I don't know everything about it either. But what I do know is, yes, I was dating Soul. I was super mad at him because he stood me up because he's working for you. And he didn't tell me
Technically, he
that.
was working for the Baron, but okay.
Whatever arrangement it was, I didn't know. I was just human, living my life. He didn't want to tell me anything. I understand now why, but I was mad. I went by myself in my costume because he stood me up.
Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. That was your costume.
Exactly. And he was
remember
supposed to... Okay, yes. I was dressed as Dorothy, and I went into the haunted house, like everyone was going in, whatever, and all these things started happening all at once. Like, it was just dark, and it went... I had a bad feeling about it, but it's a haunted house, it's Halloween. I didn't think much about it. I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about how mad I was a soul and just wanted to get it out of my system, that kind of thing. Stupid human shit things, whatever. And I went in there, and there was this lady that was like face to face with me suddenly. Just the wall moved, and everything happened all at once, and I don't really remember much beyond that, actually. I'm trying to recall. But I remember what happened after.
Yeah, what happened after?
I was in a car, Dean was there, Sol was there, and I drank from Sol. And they were telling that this, it was the only way to save me. Or something like that. And they took me to the Baron. And Dean was saying how he was negotiating. I was in shock. I don't remember what exactly was said, but I know there was some kind of negotiation of back and forth, and he didn't want to be part of...
I asked the Baron not to let her go with you, not to let you go with him.
Yes, you did that.
I remember.
He, in return, wanted to not be part of a coterie. And, like, anonymity between others. I'm trying to recall what all he said.
It wasn't Dean who messed with my memory.
No?
It was the Baron. I remember the way she looked at me, and then the night vanished. It was the Baron who messed with my head. She's much older than Dean. Much more powerful than Dean. Dean was a little pissant. Everything's fuzzy, but I remember that. I need a minute. I need to go punch some things.
Can it be the Baron?
What?
It seems like she's a problem and she's holed up, and whatever she's fucking around with, she needs to be taken out. Because she's playing for the prince. You know that, right?
Victoria pipes up. I believe you are correct, Hunter. I believe Marianne Park is the child of Prince Tenebras. I cannot prove this, not yet. This is what I believe.
I'm sure we can find some evidence and then... But, wouldn't that be easier if she was, pinned down somehow?
Wouldn't it be easier if we went to the Carolina Opry and we killed her ourselves?
That is the kind of go-get-him attitude I appreciate. I'm in.
I hate to be the stick in the mud for this kind of conversation, but we are all acting as if that actually matters. And in my experience, in the Camarilla, the one with the biggest stick is the one who decides the rules. If she is the daughter of the prince, and we kill her or get rid of her, what does that mean in the grand scheme of things? It doesn't give us the right to decide who rules over Myrtle Beach. If the prince wants to rule over Myrtle Beach, we either show that he's incapable of by force, or we roll out the red carpet and we say, "Welcome to Myrtle Beach. Please don't waste all your money before 9 o'clock."
I will roll out no carpet for a prince of the Ivory Tower. I have walked this earth since the early 18th century. I'm older than Baron Park. I'm not as old as the prince. This was my father's territory, and I will defend it against all these snakes who have taken it from him.
That's very good. That's more what I want to hear, because this is
What
not
do you
democracy.
say? What do you say, dragon? First adversaries. Shall we be allies in a new war?
I go where Hunter goes. But I just want it to be clear that there is no democracy in this society. Force is the only thing that matters.
You do not have to tell me that.
When you want to pull the wool over someone's eyes and give them a choice between something that's good for them and something that you want for them, the trick isn't to make yours more appealing, it's to make sure that you have control over both options. And the fact that the prince even mentioned it is more than enough to damn Baron Park in my book.
Carino, I did not expect to see you again tonight. It is much nicer here than sleeping in the ground.
It
What do you say to war?
It seems to be the inevitable conclusion to things, I guess. I suppose I couldn't have lived here peacefully forever. That was never a real possibility.
Perhaps with an ally like myself, you can find peace.
Of course. Let's do this.
Dragon, can I speak with you alone before we march on the Carolina Opry? You're muted.
Of course I am. I have a tendency to speak at a low tone, but certainly I see no problem with speaking with you alone.
She leads you away. Would anyone like to have a conversation before Victoria and Anthony speak?
You wanted to talk to me as well? Was there anything else that I've said that you would like to know? Or did I say everything you wanted to ask?
You're speaking to Isaiah?
I'm speaking to her.
Daughter of Oblivion, the circumstances around your... I do not think I should call you Daughter of Oblivion. It appears that the circumstances around what occurred to you is not the norm. Let me ask you this. Do you feel these people? Can you feel it?
Yes, I can feel them here. They're alive. They are present.
Have you ever heard of the name of Anita?
Yes.
Do you know who she is?
Yes, I believe so.
She is the leader of the daughters. She has many cults across North America. She is also a very high-ranking Camarilla. She is what the Camarilla call an imperator. She has been such since the war, the Sabbat War, and she has never been released from her command. At a moment's notice, she can send justicars to destroy towns. With you here, and with Sarah here, I do not know if she is among us now, I feel that we are safe from her wrath. Should it come to a fight between the Unbound and the Ivory Tower. Where is Sarah?
Sarah went to Dean, I think.
That is either very good or very bad. Fortunately, I do not know. Sarah is unpredictable, but also very wise, if you can understand her.
I tried. Yeah.
There will be other nights for us to talk about your predicament. I am well versed in the occult, not in the magic of your clan, but perhaps I can help you in some way. I do not know.
I would like to place my trust in you.
That is very unwise. Place your trust in none of us. You must decide who is worthy of a modicum of your trust. Never place it fully, ever. But if you decide that you can place a piece of your trust in me, I would be honored. But you must also know, for us to win, it would require the head of your sire, preferably at my feet.
If I have a mean to do it, I would do it right now.
Good. Dragon, may I have a word?
Of course.
Toria leads you to a bridge over a pit of alligators and into a secluded cabin. It's very dark in there. Pitch black. And you hear all around you the flicking of bats. The only light is a red heat lamp far in the back. Victoria turns her eyes red. You may do the same in order to see each other better.
I'm not sure I have that ability. Perhaps I do.
I believe you have eyes of the beast, yes?
Do I? Well,
I believe so.
let me make sure of that. I do not.
You do not. Well, then, for you, it is extremely dark. The only thing you see are the pinpricks of her red eyes.
Charming place you brought me to.
My father, he loved this place. And you notice I use father when I speak with you, and sire when I speak with the rest of your coterie. I know you know why I do this. You made a deal with me tonight to report to me about the doctor, and I would give you my blood. I would like to amend the deal.
I'm listening.
Dragon, I see in your eyes, I see it in the girl's eyes as well, that you have lost, loved and lost. I see it. In my many years, I've loved and lost. I recognize it. One of the reasons I believe that I lost Galen is because after so much loss, I became too protective of him. He wants his freedom. He wants to live his own life as if he were still human, denying himself what it is to be kindred. It's not always a bad thing. I pushed him away by trying to get him to leave this place, by trying to get him to abandon some of these human affectations in order to protect him. It was wrong. Do you understand this?
I understand what you are saying, yes.
Instead of reporting about the activities of the doctor, I would ask that you protect him for me.
You have lived long enough to know, just as I do, that there is no staying out of this everything. And you
I know
know
this.
just as well as I do that the harder you try to get out of it, the more it will hurt. I'm going to tell you this because I respect you. Dr. Galen is suicidal. He makes decisions based on high-flung ideals without much thought for the consequences. I asked him tonight, his opinion about his coterie. The answer, disappointingly, leads me to believe that he values us about as much as he values his clinic. It's useful for now, but ultimately disposable. I find this very disagreeable.
I believe you.
I may have said some harsh words to him in return. I do not regret this. You want me to defend Dr. Galen, protect him, in exchange for feeding from you.
I will teach you some things that you do not know as well.
Well, now you sweetened the deal quite a bit.
Let me explain something to you, Dragon.
Go
As
ahead.
you said, I've lived many years. The reason Galen cannot show attachment and affection is very hard for him because of loss. We can walk this earth for centuries, and loss is not something that we ever get over. It sticks with us for eternity.
I would ask you to spare me the sermons on loss.
I know I do not have to say it, but I felt it was worth repeating, since you are blinded by your own loss. Which I feel is great and close to you in this moment.
Let's not talk about this topic anymore. I'll do it.
Would you like to feed from me now? I can teach you to be more resilient in body, or I can teach you to be swift. Which would you prefer? We don't have all night, Dragon. The moon will disappear eventually and be replaced by the sun.
No, not tonight.
I know you know how to find me.
I have one question. Your friend,
My
whose
friend?
face
The Toreador. See? I miss him.
Tell me about him when you can.
That is another story of loss for me. I am attracted to beautiful things.
We will speak of this later.
I will go to the Opry now. I will fly there. Tell your friends to meet me there. I will wait.
Of course. Of course.
She exits out, turns into the albatross, and you see her fly away. Hunter, Astrid, and Galen, you see Isaiah pacing. He keeps stopping to punch a palm tree, punch a statue of an alligator that people can stand next to and take pictures with. He's visibly frustrated, and he's not handling this influx of information well, and he keeps intermittently grabbing at his head.
Okay, I'm gonna look to my compatriots and I'm gonna ask, are you all well fed?
Not well fed enough, but if you're asking if I'm gonna snack on you again, not by accident.
Thank you.
I should be fine.
All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put my hand on Isaiah's shoulder. And look in the eyes, and I'm gonna activate Obeah.
Rouse check.
Yes. Okay. Success. And
What does that leave you at hunger-wise?
I am at hunger. Where does it say? I'm at hunger 1 still.
Excellent.
That's my Obeah roll to calm him.
Now for another vampire, I believe there is a competing roll.
Mhm.
And I just need to look at it really quick. Let's soothe the mind, is that correct? Okay. I see it.
Yes.
For Isaiah, that's not many dice. Those particular things. That is 2 successes.
Ooh, then I succeed.
Okay. So as you put your hand on his shoulder and look him in the eyes that keep flickering from red to not and red to not, they return to the normal dark brown, large eyes. And you see his shoulders sloop and his neck relax. Thanks, Doc. I really needed that. I'm not used to feeling this way, you know. I'm not the world's best thinker. I go out, I hit things. That's how I take care of stuff. I don't know what to do with all this.
It's a lot of responsibility.
I want to know. I know Hunter is real worried about the barony and the camp being here, and Victoria told me a little bit about how horrible the prince is, which is like, duh, of course he's horrible. But I want to figure out how to help these people. And if what Astrid's saying is true and the only way to help her was to embrace her, I don't want to have to embrace all of these humans just to wake them up. And if I don't do that, then what should I do? Kill them? I can't.
That is a very, very hard question, Isaiah. And I don't profess to know the answer. I would say, do what your heart tells you. Do you really
Did
owe
you
them
read that
this
off of the back of a Disney book? Jesus Christ.
I suppose I did. My point being, you don't owe them anything. and they don't really owe you anything.
You know,
However,
actually,
if you are going
I
to
do owe
embrace
them something. I do owe them something. Somnus, I didn't rescue them out of that fucking house. I don't know why, but I didn't rescue them. I didn't help them. So yeah, I fucking owe this to them.
All right. Well,
These are my convictions. This is how I fucking keep
that you
this
know what you
fucking
need to
beast
do,
shit in.
and you're simply fretting over.
Stop
What you
messing
know
with
you
the
need to
poor
do.
man's head.
I'm telling you to embrace them if you care so much. Otherwise, let them die.
No,
Keeping them like this is no way to live.
Astrid, this is.
I don't know what's
your
going on
wills.
with you, Doc, but in the last few days, you're fucking on edge. You're closing your clinic. You're acting nuts. This isn't the Dr. Somnus I know. What is going on with you? Who's fucking with your head?
If I may, I would assume that if you do embrace them, they will end up like me.
What
Or-
does that mean?
Possibly better. Well, for one, you would be their sire, not Dean. So, there's that.
You really think I want to have 5 mortals and turn them into vampires? And what, so I can have my own baseball team? Why would I do this?
Well, you don't have to, is what I'm saying. You don't have to. There were many times when I thought it would be better that I wouldn't have come to be. However, I'm still figuring out what all of this means. And maybe if you wait a little bit longer, and I have more answers.
I can wait longer, because they're not waking up.
You were nice to me. I could feel that even when you were negotiating to take me as opposed to Dean. So I'm going to find out for my own sake as well what this cult actually is and what does it mean to be part of it. Because if Victoria is pleased with having me around, then maybe it is a good thing. I don't know. I'll find out. And when I find out, I'll come tell you. And then you can figure it out. And then maybe you will
Honestly,
have
it takes a lot for Victoria to turn her back on someone, and it takes a lot for her to lose her temper. So, you're all good there. But whatever it is that happened to you, that happened to these guys, I gotta know. And I can't be the one to embrace them. I just don't want whoever that guy was taking their blood, whatever he was doing with it. It just felt wrong. And it felt so wrong, I let the beast handle it.
Can you describe a little bit more what exactly he was doing? Why did it feel wrong?
Well, I went and saw them. They were all in the same room. It was kind of in the paper and kind of famous, so I, had to be pretty sneaky about it. And I got in the room. He was dressed like a mobster, like a mafioso. He wasn't dressed like a nurse or an orderly. And he had a needle stuck in their arm. He wasn't even, he didn't wrap it up, so, you get it in the artery or whatever it is doctors do. I don't know, ask the doc. He just jammed a needle in him and was taking blood out of him. It looked painful and horrible and pissed me off. Don't know how else to describe it. And I left him a pile of goo in the room. I managed to fish the matchbox out of the goo, cleaned up the best I could, and man, did I get myself into a lot of debt with a lot of our kind who can mess with memories, which is exactly not at all who I want to be associating with, considering my own circumstance, but I didn't really have a choice.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I just want to get something straight. You don't understand why you were compelled to help these people.
I know they were inside the haunted house. The haunted house is where all my memories are messed up. about that night. That's the night the Baron died. Apparently that's the night Astrid was embraced and she was in the haunted house. I was trying to find answers. I thought maybe one of them could give me answers. I didn't realize they were all in a coma.
Well, we need to go to wherever this matchbook's from. Tell them that, do you reckon they're the ones making the tender sugar that's all bad for people?
That's that drug you told me about, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Thin blood, Saul was the only thin blood I knew, and he couldn't do that stuff.
Well, they seem to be taking blood from people. That's my best guess. They have a problem with the cam. We need to figure out why. And see if we can't get them to smash themselves on that particular rock. I don't know. I want a quiet life, you know?
Yeah. We all do. And you better check the dock. I don't know what's going on with you, Galen, but you are not. The dock I know does not say, hey, go ahead and embrace 5 mortals. Populate Myrtle Beach with a whole bunch of new vampires. What is going on with you, man? Seriously. You're jittery as hell. If you were human, I bet you'd be sweating right now.
You're right. I've been roped into a coterie, and as a result, I've been rather busy as of late in affairs that I would much rather have no involvement with. But
then
now
leave.
I realize that's not an option, you see, because now, look, this place has been my home for God knows how many years. I'm not giving it up that easily.
Well, then sometimes you gotta rub elbows with people you don't like. I didn't like Dean, and okay, Dean's probably a bad example because he obviously fucked me over. But Saul was great. I would never have met him if I wasn't in a coterie. And now he's out there somewhere.
Don't get me
thinking
wrong,
the
I have
same
nothing
thing
against
I'm
these
thinking.
people. It's not a personal thing. I'd just
It might
rather-
not be, but there's something. You gotta work some shit out. There's an old German saying that my dad used to tell me when after he got back from, World War II. Said he heard it from some of them. It goes something like, "You have to die one death." You ever heard it?
That's what Sarah said.
Yeah, you sound like you have a German accent. You ever heard it?
Yes. Isn't it something along those lines of take a bullet for someone?
Yeah, it's like being trapped between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Yeah.
You have to die one death, Doc. Either you die for the life you have here, or you leave and die for something else. But you gotta pick. And if you want to die for the life that you have here, then you gotta do what you gotta do. And you gotta work with your coterie, you gotta deal with the politics, the bullshit of being who we are, or take a walk on the beach during the sunrise.
I appreciate this, Isaiah, I really do. You've helped me
Glad
more
to
than you know.
Glad to hear it. I know you guys are gonna go off to the Carolina Opry. I'll be here. Like I told you a few days ago, called about Ike. I can't leave. I try not to leave. If I get hungry, I eat off Oliver, I eat off one of the animals. But I stay here. I don't want to leave them. So if you need me, I'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Anthony and Hunter. Now that things have died down a little bit, the tension, the arguing, the confusion over what is happening to Isaiah and how much Astrid knows about these comatose people, You suddenly realize Sunrise Cruise. You know who owns the Sunrise Cruise. Doesn't mean that this person works for them or is associated with them anyway. He might have just been on the cruise and grabbed a matchbox before he left. But it's owned by a character known only as G. They are a rival, and not a rival like Ike, but a legitimate rival to Hunter's business. They own a riverboat casino. They are antagonistic towards Hunter. They have spread propaganda to the media in the Grand Strand to try and get people to come and check his business for legitimacy purposes. And Anthony, if you would roll me, intelligence and streetwise, there might be something else that you know.
I'm going to go ahead and use some blood for that. So, let's roll hunger first. Rouse check. I succeed. So that means streetwise, intelligence, and 2 for modifiers. And I still only get, hold on, I still only get 1 success, so that's not...
1 success is enough for you to have an inclination that G is kindred. Perhaps a Hakata.
Beautiful.
But you are not sure like you usually like to be.
Very well. I, of course, share this information with the coterie at a suitable time. Well, with Hunter, first of all, and then Hunter gets to decide if the coterie learns about it.
You should know, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna join you there, and my presence might just make things worse. And I have other things to attend to.
If you want me to go there, boss, would you like me to go there to be diplomatic? Or would you like me to go there to be diplomatic?
Well, you know which my favorite is, but whichever gets us to the end of this night faster.
Diplomatic it is.
Keep the other
Hunter?
two safe.
You would know that Sunrise Cruise leaves at midnight and does not return to port until shortly before sunrise. Just past midnight. There is no way for Anthony, unless Anthony wants to run across the bridge and jump down like Sarah did. Their cruise runs along the Waccamaw. If you had stayed there longer, you might have seen it.
How long until it passes under the bridge? Just curious.
It passes under the bridge very shortly before sunrise.
That's unfortunate. Tomorrow
That's why it is called Sunrise Cruise.
Well, tomorrow night then, perhaps.
Perhaps. But first, you all agreed to meet Victoria at the Carolina Opry, where the Baron, for the past few days, has barricaded herself inside, supposedly. And as you all leave Alligator Adventure, pile back into the SUV where Thedric is still sleeping or resting, we are going to take a short break.
Well, everyone go get yourselves some drinks or blood or whatever, and we will be back shortly.
It looks so mad. Look at the grump.
Welcome everyone back to Blood on the Grand Strand. Enjoy, Victor. And this grump is the most evil of us all. Hi, take it away, honey.
Oh, sorry. Victor's so cute. Just do a whole chronicle of Victor. Welcome back, everybody. When we left off, our tensions were running high among our coterie at Alligator Adventure. We learned some things about Astrid's backstory, and we learned some unpleasant things going on at Isaiah's domain. Victoria, however, has stepped up to take over the mantle of Baron in the name of her sire. And she has convinced the coterie, who didn't need all that much convincing, to take the Baron out, the current Baron, Marianne Park, who has barricaded herself in her domain, the Carolina Opry. And the coterie has piled into the car. We need to decide who is driving.
I think I have a dot in drive.
Me
I think
too.
you all have a dot in drive.
I volunteer as tribute.
Dexterity drive.
Beautiful.
This is going to be a little bit trickier than driving on a straight bridge.
3 successes out of 3.
But not for Anthony. There is no road too tricky for Anthony to drive upon. It's smooth sailing. Thiedrich, who is laying in the back, barely feels the bumps as you pull out onto Route 17 and head south, past Pirate's Voyage, past the Strip, almost as far south as you can go without heading into another part of the Grand Strand called Conway. Is there anything you'd like to discuss on the way there? I'll take that as a no.
So just to be
Silence.
clear, just to be clear, we are heading to the Baron right now.
Yep.
All right. My following question is, what exactly are we doing with her?
I thought we were killing the Baron.
That is certainly one way to phrase it, but how are we killing the Baron, and where are we killing the Baron? We have the option of bringing her with us. We have the option of killing her there. We have the option, well, we have more options, I would say, than killing Immortal. And I think it might be prudent that we agree on a plan before we boldly storm into the Baron's headquarters and challenge her to a fist fight. I don't know what the plan was.
Well, I don't think we need a protracted conversation with her. We can say that we're here to discuss the Camarilla. And then when we're close enough, we can blow our brains out. Anyone that feels like they can take her on, can give it a go. Is Victoria in the car with us?
No. Victoria went ahead for
Oh,
reconnaissance.
yes. I informed the coterie between us.
Well, if anyone's got a better plan than that, I'm willing to hear it. But
I've got nothing.
Do I know if she's a particularly strong combatant? I'm assuming she's got guards.
Unfortunately, none of you know very much about her. Guards or not, her age, or her powers, none of you are super involved in politics or have had cause to visit her at her Opry. But I do need everyone, besides Anthony, who is driving, to roll wits and awareness.
Oh boy.
A crit.
Oh, Hunter.
Normally a success is a good thing.
Well, that is a Masquerade, is it not?
That is a messy
Oh,
crit.
yes, yes, it is.
My character sheet is loading for some reason. It'll be ready in just a moment, it appears.
That is 4 for Astrid.
Here we are. All right. There you are.
3 for Galen. All of you, outside of Anthony, see Thedric shuffling about in the back. His hand is in his pocket, and you see his fingers moving rapidly. His head is downturned at an odd angle. A small light is illuminated in the fabric. He's texting someone. Hunter,
Right.
with that messy crit, you cannot help but react. And you are going to grab it, his hand, and you are going to break his wrist. He screams out in pain, but he can't text anymore. And
Do
now
it.
he's cradling his hand.
Is there a problem back there?
I go and reach for the phone. Sorry.
Just need to keep an eye on who's on the field.
Felt good, Hunter. You wish it was his whole arm, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Astrid, as you take the phone, you know that your sire would not allow his number to be plugged in with a name, but it is his number. As you scroll through the messages, he's been texting him everything. Texted him about Victoria, texted him about Alligator Adventure, and he's texting him about the Carolina Opry. Did not get to send it, though.
Cedric.
He's right now cradling his arm, tears in his eyes. Yes, Miss Astrid.
Why?
Why what, Miss Astrid?
I need to tell you about Dara. What do you know about Dara, first of all?
I did what I was told.
Mm-hmm. So did she. Where did that lead her?
He told me to,
Of course it did.
so I killed her.
You killed
Dumped her in the river. You know I have to do what he says.
I know. But not for long. I will keep this. For now.
Astrid,
Are you going to kill me, Miss Astrid?
I do not want to.
But you shot me, and
It
your friend
was-
broke my hand.
It did not.
I'd rather you
to
kill me
happen.
than torture me.
Astrid,
Yes.
did your sire inform you about what the blood bond is?
Yes, sort of.
Consider this a very good practical lesson of what the blood bond is. When he says he has no choice, what he's saying is there is no way for him to do anything against the will of his master. It is not a matter of conviction, it is a matter of the power of blood. The blood bond will make people die for their
I know.
doctor.
But Dara found a way to weave between that for a while.
It's not
And-
all Astrid's fault. I am the one
No,
who asked the
I am
doctor
not
to
blaming
save him.
Astrid. I'm not blaming anyone.
I don't want to torture him. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want him to be in this position.
Then
Well,
tie him up, put him on drip feed, and wait until we're done with this. But he will be a liability. Is what I recommend.
I can do it for you if you want.
No, I should do it. It's my responsibility.
Astrid, what is it that you want to do?
I'm trying to rack my brain for a way where to put him where he will be safe and able, like safe, relatively relaxed, pain-free maybe. Chilled out, I don't know, whatever, but would not be able to interfere or like make matters worse for us.
May I suggest?
So I look at the
Certainly my
doctor.
practice.
I look at the doctor going, I think, if I may, I think you might be able to
Yes.
help us out in this case.
Galen, you do have your trank dart gun with you.
Yeah, I'll just take out a dart and I'll put it in his arm,
Mm-hmm.
administer the correct dosage. Should we make a stop at my practice beforehand to drop him off, or just leave him in the trunk?
You're quite out of that way.
Okay, then leave him in the trunk is the other option.
Off gag, tied hands and feet. Should
With
be
that
fine.
trank, he will be unconscious for 5 to 6 hours.
Plenty of time.
As you inject him with it, excuse me, his eyes flutter, and he slumps into that type of sleep that only comes with the aid of narcotics.
I just lean over and tell him, when you wake up, don't panic. Stay put. I will be there for you.
As you continue your way, you pull in to the parking lot, the empty parking lot of one of the largest buildings in Myrtle Beach. It's the Carolina Opry. Some of you, who may have spent a significant time in the South, would be familiar with the Grand Ole Opry, which is where many famous country musicians like Dolly Parton and Reba McEntire would perform on stage for throngs of adoring fans. There is a place like that here in Myrtle Beach. It's typically where country music stars come. Yes.
I actually keep the phone.
I assumed that you did.
I
said that you
delete
took
the
it.
message that he was about to say, and I send the message instead.
Ah,
I say, how do I phrase this? I want to.
would you like to say it out loud, or would you like to type it to me in Discord? It is not something your friends would hear or see you type.
I actually flag them down and like, come here for a moment.
Or Anthony's. Well, Anthony, you pulled into the parking lot, so you can certainly be a part of this message, whatever it is going to be.
I pull the phone between them and go like, so. I do think that Dean would know some things about the Baron, but I gotta phrase this right. And make it seem like it's still tragic. So I would need some help with this.
What has he texted to Dean already? He's texted that we are heading to the Opry.
I showed them. No, I deleted the message. We caught it in time.
So
You see a series of text messages as she scrolls up. She can go back quite far, 2 months almost, of short messages, nothing personal in them, simply locations, where Astrid is, and the names of, you think, maybe kindred or people that might be of interest to her sire for whatever reason. You see Victoria's name. You see Freestyle Park, which is where the Camarilla party was. You see all of your names at one point or another.
So, the last message to Dean said Alligator Parkland Adventure.
It said Isaiah, period, Alligator Adventure, period.
Part of me wants to throw him off our tail. Like, I should probably just text him the location of the burned down house or something along those lines.
My advice is that it is a location we can reach fairly quickly. We have no idea how long this will take, and if we text a location that is false and Dean finds out about this, you are in much more serious problem than you would have been if we texted no address whatsoever. Maybe we went for a long and carefree drive down the highway, didn't arrive to any location for quite a while, so type in a location, but wait, is my advice. Don't send it yet. But
honestly, as soon as this went through, and I point to the Isaiah and Alligator Park, I think I was completely fucked to begin with. There is no saving me.
well,
I'm
then,
only telling you this so that we can see if we can find out something about the Baron, but it doesn't seem like we can if he's just been texting them information, like just locations.
just names the locations. So nothing, he didn't text anything about him being shot by you.
Scroll up. Did he?
He did.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
I
the
was supposed to send this.
The text that came after Freestyle Park. Text was shot by Astrid, period. Intracoastal waterway, period. Sarah is gone, period.
Well, like you said, you're thoroughly fucked. So, perhaps milk him for any kind of information on the prince. Say prince is behaving erratically. No, Baron, my apologies. Baron is acting erratically. Baron is threatening harm to Astrid. Advice, ? Something like that. I don't know, Thedric, and I suppose my advice can only go so far.
None of these have had replies, have they?
No. Very astute.
This is a report.
You can always say Astrid heading to beach, meeting sun. At this point,
Something believable. We want to bluff. We don't want to raise suspicions.
Say that Dr. Somnus has taken an interest in one of the alligators. I could still be at the park.
That's
a good
true.
one.
I would say there is two options here. We either make it unassuming, all four of us at Pirate Adventure, or somewhere that he's concerned about, like that haunted house, or perhaps even wherever the hell he lives, if you really want to make him panic.
It'd be funny.
I want to make him suffer in ways I didn't know I wanted to make other people suffer ever before. You don't understand.
Oh,
Maybe
I
you do.
understand.
I don't know. But
You are so close to where he is, Astrid.
are we
The
not?
abandoned airfield is maybe 15 miles from where you are. So close. What could you do if you could convince Victoria to go there?
Maybe if we play. Victoria did ask me where he was, and I did say Sarah went there. Maybe this is a good idea. We should, so I don't think we should storm directly to the Baron. I think we should get Victoria's attention and go perhaps to Dean first. Because
Elaborate.
he's not as strong as the Baron. That's one thing. And second of all, whatever he knows, maybe Victoria can make him talk.
What do you reckon either the Baron or he would do if he knew that we were going there to kill the Baron? Would she move? Would she make herself vulnerable by leaving her little Opry?
There are two ways this could go. Because when I said I see the picture, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if this was coming from Dean and that he had ambitions to seize power, or whether he was just a pawn in the Baron's paws. And having heard Victoria say that the Baron might be the child of the prince, I believe Dean is actually being controlled by the Baron.
Or the Prince?
Or the prince directly. However, no, I think it might be the Baron, because he did make sure that the previous Baron was disposed of. So I believe, well, I suppose but it has to go through this Baron. I don't know.
At this point, Victoria lands on the hood of your car, turns herself into her human form, seated on the hood of your car. The best way to find out what the Baron is up to is to go confront her, Daughter of Oblivion.
I agree.
Pardon me?
Certainly would be interesting.
I have
Okay.
very good hearing.
Well, then I mean, if you think that it's better to go to the Baron first, but I would definitely love to invite you home as well, if you would be willing to go.
As I told you at the party, the impatience of youth is sometimes very exhilarating.
Well, if you want to get inside and you want a conversation with the Baron, how about we just have a simple bluff? We just say we have a drug that is threatening the Camarilla, because it's half true.
I fear, Hunter, it will not be so easy getting in. And I fear she is not in there. You, dragon, can do what I do, I believe. Sense beasts.
That is true.
Sense other kindred.
I can do that.
Sense with me. Tell me if you sense any kindred in there.
I will do so. Let me see here.
Well, if she's dead already, then job done. I don't think we're that lucky, though.
If she's dead already, who has been running Myrtle Beach?
One success. Not great.
You sense no kindred outside of the ones standing around you.
I sense only us. It's possible there is some manner of protection around the Opry.
I have flown around the building several times, waiting for you. I sense no kindred. I sense no life inside. But we must enter to see what we see.
Sometimes the best way to find a hunter is to trigger the trap after all.
I believe so.
Suppose. No offense to you, Hunter.
Oh, that is interesting. Hunter and Hunter. It's good. Are you all ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
I check my gun.
9mm, full clip. Astrid, 9mm,
Ready.
-1 bullet.
Yep.
Victoria looks at you, Galen. And you, Carino. Are you ready?
Readier than ever.
Good. How shall we enter? Through the front, as if we are invited.
Absolutely. If we're going to make this convincing, we should let Dean know that that's exactly where we're going.
I'm starting to understand why my Gillen hangs around with you. She walks up to the front. As I said, it's an extraordinarily large building. Usually there's lights illuminating it. Beautiful palm trees decorated with lights, welcoming the celebrities who will come perform for the adoring fans of the Grand Strand. But it is all dark. The parking lot is empty. The doors are chained. But for Victoria, that doesn't pose a large problem. At least I hope not.
I am a very strong ancient vampire, but metal. Everything was wood in my day.
I will spend a willpower for her. That would be embarrassing. You watch her approach, and she grabs onto the chain with both hands, and she pulls it apart, and the links break. She's such a small, diminutive, almost graceful looking person. So you don't expect that type of strength to come from her hands and her arms and her upper body, but it's there. And she thrusts her hand against the door, and it opens, and you hear loud creaking noises of things flying across the floor that were also barricading it from the inside. After you.
I turn on Dawn and I go inside.
Turn on anything?
I just say, did you want me to still text them for real? Should I do that?
Well, I think that we should tell on ourselves after we know what's inside.
I am going to make 2 rouse checks. I was going to say this earlier, but I didn't find the opportunity. I have been very subtly altering myself somewhat. I've been moving things around, and I would like to move 1 dot of my dexterity to my pool of strength for now. So I'm doing the rouse check for that now. I succeeded my rouse check, and then I will do another rouse check for feral weapons.
Understood.
I succeed with that one as well. Highly efficient use of blood.
You activate feral weapons. Just as before, then Knight and Loris. Boned claws extend from Anthony's hands. It's very disturbing yet extraordinarily interesting. Anyone else before you enter?
No. I don't want to get eaten.
Astrid?
I activate Sense the Unseen.
Wits and aspects. Victoria leads the way. Her eyes are black. Her eyes are red, so she can see better in the darkness. No rouse check for that, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I have to roll them separately because my sheet is
Oh,
weird.
that's right. That's right. You told me that already. I think I'd remember.
2 successes, sorry.
2 successes. It's very hard for you to see in here, Astrid. It's very dark. And Sense the Unseen does not help you pierce the darkness.
Oblivion Sight then.
You turn off Sense the Unseen, and you turn on Oblivion Sight. And to you, just as it is to Victoria, this room may as well be illuminated, may as well be filled with lights. You can see every detail, every speck of dust. And as you move through these massive rooms, the lobby, the lounge, the different stage areas, whether the artist visiting is large or small, Everything is covered in a layer of dust. There's no sound, no noise. The only thing you see, if you look straight ahead, far back to the stage, behind the stage, one of the smaller performance areas, you see a light, an electronic light. Would you like to investigate it?
I take. Who all can't see in the dark here?
For
I'm blind to
Anthony,
that.
for Anthony, Galen, and Hunter, this is extremely difficult to see. They are holding their hands out for walls. Victoria grabs onto Galen, instinctively perhaps, grabs his hand, and walks with him. You see this. You see everything.
I take both of their hands and I place them onto my shoulders.
I would recommend you not grab Anthony's hand. It is claws. Maybe his shoulder.
I would have seen that though.
You would.
Okay, so I take Hunter's hand, and I just I did this first, and then I realized he can't see me. So I did this to him.
You put your finger to his lips?
Yeah, it's like shh, because he can't see me.
You just hear
And
him
so
go,
you
And I pat at his chest, going,
You're telling Hunter to stay where he is?
I'm like, stay. I'll go check something.
That is up to Hunter if he stays.
Me.
Hunter can't see, so he's going to trust Astrid, and he's just going to crouch behind the nearest object.
I think
Nearest
that
ob-
Tremere. Big mistake.
Nearest object would be one of those foldable chairs that you sit in a theater.
He's just gonna crouch behind that and just keep on looking around uselessly.
Anthony, are you also staying here
Am I
to
being
protect
told to
Hunter?
Am I being told to stay?
It's up to Astrid.
No, she actually. Can I try to get his wrist then to not get cut?
Oh, you can definitely get his attention.
Okay, I try to get his wrist
Mm-hmm.
and I tug at it. Like I tried to take you with me.
You want to take Anthony with you.
Yeah, quietly. This is gonna go so well.
Of course. I will follow. I have no reason not to trust Astrid. I presume I'm able to figure out that it's Astrid.
Yes. Galen didn't really get a choice, but if you would like to stop Victoria and if you'd like to stay behind,
I'm
you certainly
okay
have that
following.
option.
I
Okay.
feel bad telling Hunter to stay.
Maybe Astrid
How
doesn't want
far-
him to get hurt.
How far is it? How far is this?
It's not far. You need to walk down the aisle where all the chairs are to the
Okay, well,
stage,
it's okay.
and then behind it. Hunter, as you stay there, you can smell the dust. Layers of it. The chair that you're crouching behind. You put your hand to it. Now you can't see your hand in front of your face, but you can feel that layer of dust. Weeks at the least.
Well, that's
It's very
disgusting.
strange. It is disgusting. But what's strange is that people have said they've talked to the Baron.
Within the last week, at the very least.
You talked to the Baron. As you move, yes.
No, sorry, just brain thinking. Don't worry.
Audible brain thinking, good. Astrid, Anthony, Galen, and Victoria, they go behind the stage. You see a computer there. It's a small little setup. It's a PC. And there's a program open. It looks like one of those automatic dialers. But I'm going to need Anthony, Galen, and Astrid to roll intelligence and technology to see if you can figure out what this is. And I'm assuming they left their person who knows technology behind.
Oh, I got
That
two
is-
10s.
That is a messy critical for Galen.
Mine.
And Anthony, that is 2 successes. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Astrid, that is 5 successes.
I have been born yesterday. Hey.
Victoria will not even roll because technology makes little to no sense to her. But Galen and Astrid, you recognize what this is, and Galen, suddenly everything comes into clear view for you. And that idea of someone manipulating things behind the scenes upsets you. Your beast rises in your throat, and I need you to increase your hunger by 1 as you want to bite. And you look to Victoria, still holding your hand, illuminated in the light. The voice of your beast says, "You should drink her.
You should
She
fuck
won't.
off.
You first."
Wish it was that easy.
Could be. You should drink her blood.
No,
You know
thank
she
you.
wants you to. How many times did she ask you? You're so weak, pathetic. Come on, let's have a taste.
No, thank you.
Astrid and Galen, you know that this is an automatic dialer, something telemarketers might use. It's a program. It will receive calls under an assumed number. What's even worse is that, or interesting, is that it's connected to a set of files that have been preloaded into it. Audio files.
Oh my god.
Do you
Oh no.
Do you click on any of them?
I don't think I need to click on them. I think I know what they are.
What are they?
People have been listening to a pre-recorded thing of the Baron's voice.
That is exactly correct. And as you click on them, you hear Marianne Park. You hear her say certain phrases, certain words. Some of them are whole sentences, pre-recorded. Some of them, someone must come in here and set them, and then call someone and play it. So someone has been in here doing this. I do not understand. I do not. What is this machine, Carino? What you seem to understand? What is this?
This machine is being used to make everybody believe that our dear Baron is alive. Well, I can't speak to whether or not she's alive or dead, but she's certainly not here, and she certainly isn't running the place. On this computer, there's recordings of her voice, and someone's been stitching them together to make a pretty convincing replica of her.
Someone who may have.
I always said this technology is like magic.
It is. I was convinced this was a two-man con. I thought that the Baron would be in on it, but it seems the Baron isn't.
Maybe whoever there, this part here, I'm going into like the string of things. It requires someone to actually load this up particularly, so therefore it has to come in here. So if we can find any kind of trace, anything, we need to look, we need to check from the door to
Astrid,
here.
Are you keeping track on the phone?
It's here.
Nothing new, no new messages.
I look.
As Hunter determined, Diedrich has no messages from anyone.
All right,
Not for months.
now let's think rationally about this.
I'm going to go retrieve your friend. I think it was not good to leave him in the dark.
Yeah, sorry.
I think we should leave this place as soon as possible. I think it's highly likely that someone as the good doctor has said, has been impersonating the Baron, and that person may now know that we know. If it
Victoria
is-
has brought you, Hunter, by the hand.
When was the last time any of you saw the Baron in person? And who is the last person we know to see the Baron in person?
That would be our dear friend, Dean.
And
Right?
Isaiah,
And Isaiah.
Isaiah only heard from the Baron, as far as I know.
Astrid, you said the night that you became kindred.
Yeah,
Isaiah was
Halloween.
there.
Yeah.
Halloween. Yes, the night my sire,
How long
You-
ago was Halloween?
2 months ago.
2 months ago. Thank you. Sorry.
I knew you were so young, so fresh. That night, Isaiah said he'd spoke to the Baron, and so did your sire. I do not believe anyone has seen her since then. Perhaps other kindred we do not know.
I am trying to rack my brain right now.
I
I have
think
a
Dean
fairly...
diablerized that Baron too.
Oh, it seems to be his favorite thing to do.
Yeah, he's made quite the habit of diablerizing Barons.
I would like to rack my mind because I have a pretty good account of most kindred of Myrtle Beach. Are there any that I have not seen in a long time that I can recall?
Intelligence. Wits streetwise.
Thank
Wits
you.
streetwise.
I will rouse the blood for this one. That's a success.
Does it mean you are still at 1 hunger, is that correct?
That's correct. And wits, you said, streetwise.
Wits streetwise.
+2. Unfortunately, that's only 2 successes. But
There
I
are.
will... No, never mind. Never mind.
You think, oh, there's so many on the Grand Strand, too many.
Hmm.
Honestly, the only ones you can think of, besides Frankie, you haven't seen a lot of Thin Bloods around.
Hmm.
You know they always hung out where Frankie lives. But in the last few weeks, maybe the last month, there seems to be less and less and less.
And Saul has not been seen for the last 2 months either, am I correct?
You haven't seen him for at least a month. You may have seen him moving about after Halloween.
Mhm.
It's hard to remember. There's so many of those Thin Bloods.
Let's not jump to the conclusion that it's Dean who's doing this. There are other suspects. But if Dean is involved, chances are very high that he is considering his options now that he knows that we are here.
Yes. He's
We are
nearby.
settled.
We ought to visit him.
Does it look like there's active surveillance here, like electronic?
It's awareness. It would be hard for you. You might want to let Astrid do it.
Yeah. Hunter checks and just kind of looks around uselessly and goes, does anyone want to tell me if there's active surveillance here? I need to know if we've already lost the opportunity to bluff.
Okay, yeah.
We'll roll for Victoria as well, since she has Eyes of the Beast active.
Wits awareness?
Wits and awareness. I'm just spending willpower all over the place. She's not on her game tonight.
Three.
4 for Victoria. You both look around. You see no surveillance. There's nothing here. Save for this computer. It's not even hooked up to the main power here. It's hooked up to a small generator. So someone must come to refill it, to replenish it.
In that case,
And that's when someone calls the laptop begins making a ringing noise. You could let it go to the automated message, or you could answer it. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
I have a question. Very quick storyteller.
Yes.
With my powers, would I be able to alter my vocal cords? I'm assuming that's a very difficult thing to do, but I'm quite familiar with the Baron's voice.
To sound like Marianne.
Yes.
Oh my, yes.
What would you require for me to roll that?
Well, I would require you to roll your your vicissitude. And I would require a significant amount of successes to concentrate solely on the vocal cords and to get just the right pitch and tone to match the Baron.
I don't see you right now if you're doing anything. I still don't see you.
You do, in this area, small illumination from the computer screen. You absolutely can see if anyone is doing anything.
Astrid is doing
Yeah,
this.
that was out of character.
Yeah.
All right, so Astrid is not actually doing that. Of course I didn't.
She wouldn't know that you're doing something to your throat.
No,
I
she
don't
wouldn't.
think.
Which is why I was confused.
I will very quickly ask. I could probably make myself sound like the Baron. Should I do that, or should we let it go to voicemail?
Ring, ring.
Pick it up.
Hunter, do you pick it up?
I tell Anthony to pick it up.
All right, boss. Okay, vicissitude, you said. I will boost my pot, of course. First of all, resolve. So it's a rouse check.
It is resolve and protein, is that correct?
Yes. Resolve. Once again, succeeded with my rouse check.
Oh, excellent master of your beast tonight, Anthony.
Yes. Thank you very much.
He's almost disappointed.
That is 7 successes.
Oh, yes. You see Anthony stretch across his throat. You even see him reach his own hand into his mouth, just for a moment, just to make sure everything is correct. And when he speaks with the voice of Baron Marianne Park. Do you
Yes.
answer it? Are you shitting me? Did you finally pick up? It's Ike. I have such a bone to pick with you, Baron Park. I sent girls to
Ike, please. I'm a very busy woman. What do you want?
I sent girls to the camp party. They ain't come back. I drove my ass out there. I said I wasn't going to that camp party. Said I'd send my girls and that's enough. I wasn't kissing his fucking ring. If he wants to be prince or baron or whatever the fuck, I don't care. I just want to run my business. I drive out there. They're dead.
Ike, I would watch your tone if I was you. There is a new prince in town, and we are supposed to do what he tells us, or it's our ass on
So
the
you've
line.
turned to the cam?
I am sensible enough to know when to not cause a mess. Listen,
My
I'll listen
girls
to
are dead.
I'll listen
I
to
don't
your
give a-
grievances, Ike. Your girls are dead, but you're not.
Yeah, because I didn't go to the party because I wasn't mortal. They're dead because something happened at the party and the prince ordered all the mortals to die. That is who I'm supposed to bow and scrape down to. Someone who doesn't give a shit about my girls
Ike,
or my
listen to me.
guys.
We're currently in a
I
situation
don't want to
where-
listen to you. I want you to do something about this. You've been MIA for God knows how long. Do something about this now.
Well, what am I supposed to do about it? Hey, got any suggestions? Should I go out
I
there
ain't
to
the
the park
Baron.
and kiss his ass? Is that
I
what you're
ain't
telling
the
me?
Baron. You're the Baron. You deal with it. I pay you hand over fist every week. What am I paying you for? How about I send some of my people down and set you on fire inside your coffin, or whatever the fuck you sleep in?
How many of your girls did you send?
8.
I'll look into it. I can't promise anything, but I'll do my best, Ike.
He hangs up.
I like Ike.
That's a slogan from an old,
That
an old
is.
presidential slogan.
Good old Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Yeah. That's why his name is Dwight.
That was enlightening.
I do not know this Ike. I do not know him. Who is
He's a 2-bit.
He seems very angry.
Well, that's normal. He just sells people. To us,
I don't
to
like Ike
mortals.
anymore.
Do you believe what he said is true? That the Camarilla killed all the mortals at the party?
Yeah.
That is very grave.
I see no reason he would be lying about this. If he's been paying the Baron money, I expect he wants something in return for it. This certainly isn't that.
But he hasn't been paying the Baron money. The Baron is not here.
No.
And I believe if the Baron was alive, they would not need whoever, Dean perhaps, would not need her voice if they were in cahoots.
Let us not assume that it's Steen. There's a
I'm-
few other key players we can... Yes, sorry, Hunter.
No, just while this conversation is happening, I'm going to see if I can find a list of previous calls, maybe caller IDs, and how the messages were composed. What they
Wits
sent
and
to who.
technology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This cannot stand.
Oh, I'm hungry.
That puts Hunter at 3 hunger.
It does.
Come on, boss. What are we doing here? So many good necks to bite into on the strip. You're in this place full of dust and sadness.
I know.
Still haven't tried her blood. I told you she's young. Delicious.
There's time.
Chad is... Yeah, sorry.
We'll get what we want eventually.
I'll hold you to it, boss.
And I got 3 successes.
You see logs, previous calls, everything that you were looking for. It's even more. It's that you see ID for logins. Who's been using the computer? One of the logins is Dara 1701. The other login is Thedric 1992. There's a third. Seems to be the one that has used it the most. And it's Grayson 1115. Most of the logs come from him, and most of this manipulation of audio was done while he was logged in.
Who the hell's Grayson? I know Dara, I know Thedric.
Astrid, you know who Grayson is. It is the third ghoul belonging to your sire. You are muted, by the way.
I was just sighing. I was just trying to figure out. It's our kid's third girl. I think we should go pay Dean a visit. I think we've seen. I would very much like to see what he has to say about these things, honestly. Although something tells me he won't be as talkative. But I could be proven wrong.
Well, before we leave, is there anything anyone wants to hear old Baron Park saying? Just for shits and giggles.
Just gonna make
Charge
Anthony
$20 per sentence.
Victoria is smiling. Haven't seen her smile yet.
I'm gonna compose one before I delete it. That's just like, I am stupid.
You hit the record button and you wait for Anthony.
I am stupid.
I love it.
It is
just play
nice
on
to
the
see the dragon being the dragon. It is a good thing.
It's my pleasure. I'll change the voiceover later tonight, unless this is making you all uncomfortable.
I quite enjoy it.
I am
Keep it
unbelievably
for now.
uncomfortable, but I would not ask you to change it for the world because it is very interesting.
Keep it for now, just in case it'll weird Dean out.
That would be a really good way to get inside Dean's head. Call him with the Baron's voice. Oh my god, we have his phone number. Oh my god, we can do that. Oh,
Sorry. That was evil.
Do you want to do that?
yes.
Okay, but first we should make sure we know where he is, so he doesn't bolt. You know, we don't want him getting away. Please, come in.
Well, we know he's at the airstrip, right?
Well, I see two
Yes.
different versions of that story. Either he knows she's dead, at which point he will presumably try to leave, or he doesn't know that she's dead and he will go where she wants him to go. Either way, that's going to be difficult to find him. So I agree, we should find him first.
Smoke him out.
This is a strange voice.
I can imagine. Alrighty, over to the airstrip, I suppose.
I've got something brewing, but I just can't. How well, I suppose, fortified is Dean at this place he lives?
Would I know anything about that? I should do. He likes to
should.
brag.
Unfortunately, you've only been in one barrack, the one where he kept you most of the time. That was quite well fortified, specifically by Grayson. I did send you something about Grayson. He's different than the other ghouls. Something about him is different. Everything is well fortified. Everything is, there were lots of technology, handprints and things. Lots of surveillance.
Well, as amusing as I find that particular idea, at this very moment, I think we should save it until we want him to leave
Yes.
this airbase.
Use it to flush him out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Astrid, are you going to share what you believe you know about Grayson?
I was waiting to see what it would say. I think the thing with Grayson is he's got powers. He is a little bit different than the other ones. That's why I think he was also given the chance to work more closely with this.
If I may, what does the 4 numbers next to their names mean?
Well, Theodric is a young man from 1992, Dara is from 1701, and Grayson may or may not be from 1115.
900-year-old ghoul.
Yeah.
Could presumably kill all of us quite easily, I would say.
I'd say so.
I do not believe that that is what these numbers represent.
And do ghouls live forever as well?
It could be.
They can do. Did you meet the young girl in the prince's custody?
I
Yeah.
believe I did.
She was his sister.
Oh.
Oh. That's how he treats his sister?
Not know. But if this Grayson is as you say he is, Astrid, I've spent many decades following around the woodworkers among the humans, if you believe he is one. It is dangerous for them to be among our kind. They start to lose what abilities they have the more they drink our blood. But Many of them, especially ones that like to use technology, have a certain affinity for numbers and what they do, what they mean. Numerology, but they call it something different. Don't know, I must be very careful and I cannot reveal myself. You're skittish and powerful.
So we should probably write these numbers down.
I would say
I've
it
already
is
done.
probably something useful, yes.
Where are
Can
they
you
again?
repeat the
Can I
numbers
try
real
to-
quick so I can
It's
type them in the chat?
Dara 1701, Friedrich 1992, and Grayson 1115.
11:15.
11:15. Anyone got bingo? Okay then.
No.
They
Okay.
can't all be winners. Sorry, boss.
It is startling to get unsettling, I think.
I'm enjoying it when he says boss. How about we return to my place and give Dean the impression that that's where we were headed all along. Unless there's
Yeah,
anything.
All right.
that's about right.
Why would we not go for him when we... Well, I suppose we might as well go back. We
Wait,
need to collect our
If he
thoughts.
has someone among him who is like the well workers, must strategize. And if it is 3 a.m., dawn will approach, as it always does.
Mm.
You do not want to be caught out. It is not a problem for me, but not all of you can meld into the earth to sleep.
That is certainly true. And I need to be somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's go.
If it is not a problem, Galen, are you staying with your friends? Or are you
Don't need
returning
be
to
what's
your...
going on.
Nothing is going on. Just want to know where you'll be.
I
Since I have no domain of my own here, not yet anyway, I will return to Alligator Adventure. It's much nicer than sleeping in the ground. It has a shower.
If you'd like a key to my practice, you can have one.
Okay.
I'll give her a key.
She takes it, puts it in the pocket of her dress. Thank you.
The dress has pockets.
Too powerful. Yeah.
I will only wear dresses with pockets. It's no other reason to wear a dress unless it has pockets.
This lady. I'm voting for this lady. Okay.
Can we have Victoria as the Baron?
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
As we leave, which is what I'm assuming we're doing next,
Yes.
Hunter is going to check to make sure that we've not left any signs that we've been here. Like, I know that he sat down in a bunch of dust and disturbed that, so he's
did?
going to try his best to cover up the butt print.
What if
Or
we
like
fried the computer?
I guess
Let
he
them know we're
crouched
here.
down. Yeah, he's
That'll
gonna,
make it even more effective when eventually he hears the Baron's voice.
I agree with this. I think you should destroy this computational machine. Destroy it. If he killed the Baron and my sire, he deserves to be terrorized a little bit.
Sure.
Let's make him sweat.
I.
You want me to do it, boss? Or do you want to?
We want to keep him guessing about exactly who did this. And so I just unload my magazine into like the hard drive and the screen and the keyboard and basically anything that looks like it could be useful.
You turned the PC into an electronic piece of Swiss cheese.
That made me feel so much better.
Now I can't hear anything.
You had all started to depart, and Hunter maybe took a few steps back and did it. It's
Well,
quite a large auditorium.
How about we go back to my place, have some rest time, and reconvene tomorrow when we can get on that goddamn boat.
We
Agreed.
should also make sure we feed and are ready.
Yeah.
I'm going to head to my practice. I need to top up on some anesthetics and my tranquilizer rifle.
Are you going to call an Uber or are you going to let them drop you off?
I'll let him drop me off.
Well, in that case, I ask Astrid to send Dean a message saying they're dropping off the doctor and then going back to theirs.
Yep, I do that.
Yeah, and
Understood.
Just a question about the ghoul, Cedric.
He is asleep.
Yes, to Astrid.
Mm.
Your previous ghoul, Dara, did she follow you around? Did she stay with you during it? Oh, yes, she did. She did stay with us. Yes. So I assume it wouldn't be strange then that Cedric stayed with you for tonight as well.
No, it should be fine. In fact, it would be strange if that wasn't the case.
Right.
I think I've got to call, though. I've got to call him actually from my phone.
You should probably do that.
Yeah. I'll do that once we're outside.
You are
He's
all
gonna
outside.
be mad. He's gonna be
Oh wait,
so
is
mad.
the thin blood still in my
Yes.
cell?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can make more of that tranquilizer. Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's gonna be a little
No.
off-putting for Victoria.
You assume, Galen, it was Sarah who took your ketamine shot.
Yes.
As I said, it was replaced with one of the pieces of lavender that is still in Victoria's hair.
Yeah, that's...
All of you were pickpocketed or reverse pickpocketed in some fashion.
Did I lose something?
You
So-
gained a picture with Saul's face cut out of it in the
Yeah.
shape of a square.
I mean, he was kind of square.
Perhaps that's what she means.
Oh.
Anthony received something, a twinkly light,
Mm-hmm.
and Hunter received something that seemed personal. Are you going to make this call, Astrid? You are all in the parking lot now.
Yeah.
Dial. It rings. Once. Twice. 3 times. And then a soft grumble. Cedric, I told you never to call this number.
No, I called from my phone.
Are you calling Dean? Yes, from your phone.
Yeah, I'm calling Dean from my phone.
Understood.
Like, I have to call him every night. That's what he
I
said.
assumed you were calling him from Cedric's phone.
No, from my
The
phone.
same,
Sorry.
the same voice picks up. Hello? It is not Dean.
Hello?
It is Grayson. Astrid,
Grayson? Yes, hello. Is
I
Dean
thought-
there?
I thought Dean told you not to call him. Not to come back until you gave him a Daughter of Oblivion. Remember?
This is true. Okay. Sorry. I felt I still had to call in.
What's
or
wrong?
something. Working on it.
Can I talk to Cedric?
No, this is my phone. Call him if you want to talk to him. Or to send
have
him
called
a
him.
text or whatever. Really?
I have called him. He's supposed to text me every hour. He ain't been texting.
Okay, do you want me to...
Where is he?
Can
I'll ask him.
Anthony.
I'd
Oh, wait,
like
am I
to
not
talk
there?
to
Am I
him.
there?
You're all there. I'd like to talk to him, Astrid.
He's not here right now.
Why wouldn't
go
he be
get
there
him.
right now? He's supposed to stay with you.
He
Did you
is.
send him home like you did to Dara?
No, I did not. I'll
Anthony,
call you
vocal
back,
cords.
okay? I'll call you back and sort this out. And I turn off the phone.
Anthony, your vocal cords, make them like what's his faces.
Okay.
I mean,
Astrid, do you want me to?
That's
No,
a pretty good
just-
excuse.
Don't do anything. Whatever. I don't think we're supposed to, like, I thought I still needed to check in, but
But yes.
it's
what-
interesting that the phone
don't-
connects to that was Grayson, that wasn't Dean.
Well,
Like Hunter said, you shot Frederick, and he knows this.
Yep.
All of you, as loudly as Grayson was talking, would have heard him say, "You were not supposed to call again until you delivered a daughter of Oblivion." Piece of information none of you had, save for Astrid.
Well, that's
You
true.
were-
What does that mean?
you were supposed to bring him Sarah.
Oh,
And that means he ain't got Sarah yet.
That's good. But wait, why? Something doesn't add up. Because last I called this number, I spoke with Dean.
Hmm.
He has no reason to give this to Grayson.
He's pissed at you?
And we're just like hand it over to Grayson and let him talk to me like this? Like, no, he would, if I called, he would take his chance to terrorize me even more and to think of more ways to make me miserable. So no, something's wrong.
Victoria pipes up. "Sounds like you are offended that your sire did not take your call. Seems this is the best way to terrorize you. You are.
I mean, I am
Very
at this
offended.
point-
Are you sure you are ready to dispatch of him, Astrid?"
So long as it's very painful for him.
I
Yes.
believe it will be painful for you. I believe you will realize that before the end. And I hope you do not make the wrong choice.
I believe we're missing an important part of this discussion here. Astrid, why did you keep it a secret that you were going to bring in one of the Daughters of Oblivion? But didn't you tell any of us?
I wasn't going to do it, for one.
Well, no, but you didn't tell any of us.
And him needing one of them ladies is rather important. They seem to be pretty central to all this. They asked us, after all, to bring them whoever the hell was making this tender sugar. So,
Yes, and I believe Isaiah said that someone was taking the blood of these victims of the Daughters of Oblivion. There is some piece of information here.
so it clearly ain't Dean that's making this this black sugar cubes. So
no, it's always been Thin Bloods.
Yes.
And there is a thin blood missing.
There's a
not
lot
the
of Thin
Daughters
Bloods
of
missing.
Oblivion.
Lots of them. Well, we know now, and Sarah's not in his hands, so I suppose no harm has been done. But I agree with Victoria. You should be sure about what you want, Astrid, before you decide to do it. You will
I-
probably find that killing people generally doesn't make you much happier.
I understand that. However, look, I'm not going to pretend I know what you guys have been through. I've been through a lot in my normal life. I've given a lot up to be here at all. Okay. I've come here given it all up, my whole life, just for Soul. Okay? He turned out as he turned out. And I am here right now. And so, every time, every day, everything I did, everything he said, since I've been under his wing, nothing else in my life compares. Okay? Like, do you know what this is? This is nothing. From all the things that he said and done, and I don't know, like, I'm worried that the only way anything could excuse what all he's done to me. My hair is really. I would think it has something to do with something external.
Child, I see your pain and your loss, the loss of mortality and the loss of love and the loss of humanity and things that matter to you. I see it. What you may not realize is that your experience is not unique. You can ask your friend, the dragon, what it means to be what the Sabbat call a shovelhead. You can ask Galen what his sire demanded of him and he refused. Tremere tend to be severe in what they believe. They tend to use oppression and punishment to get what they want out of their child. And the bloodbond too, I hear, but I do not know. You can break free and you can take his life. You can break free without taking his life. But ultimately, you must push past these things. You must take the pain and allow it to make you stronger than you were before. Because if it does not kill you, it makes you stronger.
Astrid, there's space for us here to make something better. To create something to fill that hole that loss has put in your heart. And if you'll let me, I like to treat the people that I consider friends like kings and queens. So please, spend the time with me. Spend the time with us. We'll get rid of Dean. That's for sure. But it's what comes after that. That's what you gotta think about. Otherwise, you're gonna be lost. And he reaches out his hand. I'll be here.
She takes his hand.
And... Oh, sorry.
You go first.
He, starts to, pull her along and into a... I'm assuming we're at the, we're at the
Opry?
We're at the Opry.
Wait, you're out in the parking lot.
Cars. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He pulls her towards the car and says, the other end of this journey is a very, very nice illegal casino. And the money that I use for that can buy you whatever you want. So how about we have some tokens of everyone's appreciation. You look very good with a 24 karat necklace. How does that sound?
I appreciate it, but you don't have to do that.
I do.
I've never been one for material things to begin with. Your friendship is enough. if there, I need to. You guys are right. I need to figure what I want to do after he stops being a shadow over my shoulders. I would talk to him before we do anything to him, that's for sure. But I think I need to sleep on this. I don't know. This is a lot suddenly.
Let's get going then.
I think that is wise. Anthony, are you driving again?
I don't actually know. I did reduce my dexterity pool quite severely, so I'm a little bit too bulky to drive right now. Oh, sorry. I'm a little bit too bulky to drive right now.
I think we will let Victoria take a crack at driving to save you all that. Her drive pool is not terrible.
Crashes us off the road into the river.
I've already had to spend 2 willpower for I don't know what's going on with her tonight. Just being around Galen is just exciting. That is 6 successes, so I think we're all right.
Beautiful, beautiful.
She's just showing off, like drifting around the corners and shit.
Yeah, exactly. And she's driving fast. And you see that smile creep up on her face again. Galen, I assume you're sitting in the passenger seat with her as she drives. And you see her. It's fun. This SUV is not an automatic. It's a stick. And this is a lot of fun for her. And you see her having fun. It's interesting. Thiedrick, of course, sort of rolls around in the back seat a little bit. But he'll make it. And as you all pull into Pirate's Voyage, which would be where they would stop before Galen and Victoria go to his clinic. It's the closest. And I assume take Thiedrick with them to the clinic. Put in the other cage. Galen, Hunter, Anthony, and Astrid. Someone is waiting for you outside of Pirate's Voyage.
Oh no.
You see a Kawasaki motorcycle. The young woman on it. It is Bethany. She's wearing a motorcycle cap, a handkerchief, to cover her third eye. Her outfit is severe, tattered bits of fabric and leather that she's shaped into a dress of some kind. Slits go all the way up to her thigh and beyond. With her are her entourage, the 2 kindred. One, a Nosferatu, employing Mask of 1,000 Faces. Hunter, you're familiar with that particular trick. And the other kindred. They are in their own SUV. They are standing outside of it. And she's just leaning on her motorcycle, staring at all of you. I don't believe you should get out of the car, Carino, but I will not stop you.
Well, this is mine and Anthony's place. They probably want something from us.
Do what you must, Carino, but I am here.
I'm going to hang back. As much fun as I would have spitting in her face.
It's a little less fun without the
killed.
ketamine shot
Yeah.
in your pocket. Anthony, Hunter, and Astrid, do you exit out of the car?
Mm-hmm.
Bethany stands upright, folds her arms over. Well, I thought you were never coming back. Sun's on its way.
I like to live dangerously, so what do you want?
I have a message from the prince. For you. It's bad news, I'm afraid.
My favorite kind.
She walks ridiculously close to you, Hunter. Gets right up to your face. Out of her cleavage, she pulls out a card. You recognize it. It's the card you gave Erica a few nights ago in Loris, in the police station. There's little droplets of blood on it. She puts it in your hand. The prince promised that you'd get that girl back. But there was an issue. She had to be eliminated.
Well, it seems like someone owes me something.
The prince is willing to offer you a boon. Only a minor boon. She was only a mortal, not even a ghoul. But it's yours. And as one of his subjects, you're required to take it.
I would be most honored.
Or, I hear, and she runs her finger over your chest, I hear you like to make deals.
I am famous for it.
Transfer the boon to me, and I'll give you information that you might want.
Information I might want is not the same as information I do want.
One of them high rollers.
I'm always all in.
You have to show me sometime. But until then, I'm sure that you're not stupid enough to think that the prince really has a handle on everything going on here in the Grand Strand. Show of strength is important to corral all of the underlings. But he trusts me, lets me deal with everything else. The problem is, I don't really give a fig about the Camarilla. I talk a good talk, but I have my eyes set on something better. If you want to show the kindred of Myrtle Beach that you handle the problems, that you have a new baron lined up. See, my Nosferatu friend over there has cockroaches that live inside of him, and there was one in your car. Followed you everywhere. So don't try and pull the wool over my eyes. The lady in the car, you want her to be baron. You best show the kindred of Myrtle Beach that you can handle their problems better than the prince can. I know where the SI are. I know who's making the tender sugar. You want to know? Give me the bone. And I'll tell you. I'll need it in recorded and in writing. She keeps flicking her eyes to where she knows Galen is.
Mm-hmm.
And she is simply covered in throwing knives. They're more concealed in this outfit. They're there. And on her thigh is strapped a very large machete. Tick-tock. Thought you were a gambler. Russian roulette. Let's go. Pull the trigger.
I'm just counting my cards.
Counting cards is illegal. Or so I hear.
At least she knows. Right. I am going to get the vibe of this woman because she clearly wants to either fuck or kill Galen.
Or
It's
both.
insight.
Or both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insight.
And I want to know, among many other things, whether it is specifically when she thinks of the boon, is she thinking of what she might do to Galen? Wits insight?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to rouse for extra dice, which I probably...
Anthony and Astrid You see the cockroach crawl out of the car from underneath that you were driving and crawl back under the shirt of the Nosferatu.
They crawl past me.
It took a wide berth.
Lovely.
What was your result?
That was 4.
This woman, Bethany, is vicious, single-focused on killing Galen.
Mm.
What she wants the boon for must be related to it in some way. But she can barely keep her eyes on you, even as she plays with your shirt and performs flirtatious, aggressive banter. She can barely keep her eyes off of him.
Okay. Well. I currently can't think of something that would stymie that and allow this deal to go forward right now. So, and I honestly don't think it fits with my conviction.
I don't think it does either.
No.
But that is not going to stop her from trying. And you feel, that Wood's insight, Victoria was not in the car. She would have gone for it with all of you there. Whatever it is that she wants to do to him, it is of utmost importance to her.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm
Tick tock, Mr. Pirot.
You can pronounce my name right. Please tell me, I missed it at the little party. What exactly is your job? Are you a sheriff?
I am a sheriff.
Well, if you are capable enough to taking care of everything else for the prince, perhaps you could take care of something for me.
I'm listening.
I need... You know what? I think I can ask the prince myself if I got a boon.
So you are refusing to transfer the boon to me. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was fucking with her. If that wasn't correct.
It was not.
Oh, okay.
As I said,
No,
she's having trouble concentrating on you.
Okay, that's fair enough. No, he is intentionally fucking with her, but if she's that laser focused, and it doesn't work, I'm afraid I'm gonna take what's mine tonight and gamble with you another day.
She screamed, you know. Ever killed someone up close and personal? A knife to the throat. It's delicious. Skin on skin, and their life ebbs away. I bet the whole time she thought you were going to save her. But she didn't. So, I guess I'll see you when you go visit the prince and claim that boon. I should mention, in a couple of nights, he's going to announce his praxis officially. He's chosen your place. So make sure to have that ready for him.
Of course he
She
has.
takes she takes one of her knives out of her bodice, flicks it around. Best keep a close eye on Galen. Can't protect him forever.
You can't trust him either.
She gets on her motorcycle. Her goons get on their SUV. And they drive off.
Hunter probably punches a wall very angrily.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a crack as he slams.
Take a superficial damage, Hunter. That, the outside of Pirate's Voyage, is pure cement.
Yeah.
I definitely don't know that from being there.
No.
You all see him do this. And Galen, as she drove away on that Kawasaki, her eyes locked on you. And if looks could diablerize, you'd be gone.
Astrid,
Yeah.
you recall I said that killing others doesn't necessarily make you happier, correct?
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to make you any less happy, though. Just something to consider.
Victoria puts the window down on your side, Galen. She calls out to you, Hunter. Are you all right, Hunter?
I think I broke my finger.
I believe so, yes.
You take a look at it?
You get out of the car.
I'll stay in the car for now.
Make Hunter come over to you to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll go over. You know what? Yeah. Gotta look out for him.
Before you step out of the car, Victoria says, you know he could have very easily given you to Bethany. You should remember
Beware.
that. You should remember that he did this for you. He is not typical, I don't think.
I know.
Go on, do your
Yeah,
doctor.
let me go get a look at that finger.
Yeah, and you probably have to take off several rings.
Yeah.
And the rings are probably what did it.
Yup.
Yeah.
His
Pop it back into place.
his finger is cracked in two places.
Ooh.
It's wiggly in the middle. That bone has been cracked towards the knuckle in the back and the knuckle in the front.
Okay, I'll take a little splint out of my bag. I'll set it right and then put it on the finger.
Actually, if Hunter wishes, he can call upon the blood right now.
Yeah.
Although he is quite hungry.
Yeah, he is quite hungry, so he's just gonna let this.
He's just gonna live with it.
Yeah, for the moment, yeah.
Yeah. This is a gesture of peace more than anything else.
Sure.
I could fix that for you too, boss, if you want. Could give you another finger. Be useful.
Just cut off the old one, put a new one there. Yeah, perfect.
Guess the cat's out of the bag, so I don't see any reason to hide it.
Speaking of,
I could make use of you at my practice. If you ever need a new job, let me know.
You can
Since
pay
you
as
do
well
some
as
amazing
me.
things.
You'd be
I wanna-
surprised. Sorry.
sorry,
Oh, I'm done.
I wanted to take you up on the offer to get this off. Can you really do it?
I can try. I could make your bones into jelly, make your entire hand stretch out like rubber. Wouldn't hurt, I think. Usually doesn't hurt. Yes.
Victoria leans her head over to the passenger side. As I believe, if it is what I think that it is, if it is a Kenite ward, and you just need a mortal to do it, to remove it. The hunter must have mortals in there. That sounds very unpleasant.
Could just remove the hand. You will grow another one back. Oh,
I
feel like
don't
my
think
voice
that's
is going
how
back to
that
how it used to be.
works.
Oh, it's quite how it works. You'd be surprised.
I'll get one of the croupiers who stays late to give it a go.
Okay.
Victoria
thank
looks
you.
visibly disturbed, strange. 200 years on this earth.
Yeah, I think that's the better option than jelloing the arms.
I mean, I am kind of interested how that would be like, but
Oh,
No
there are
doubt.
so many things you can do with a kindred
The
body.
doctor and me would like to observe, but I don't think it's necessary.
maybe after everything settles.
Victoria, again, is leaning out the car. I want to thank all of you for coming with me, supporting, I suppose, this new endeavor in my own life. You're all very skilled, and it is refreshing to see you look out for each other and care for each other. I hope it continues. Galen, it is time, getting to be time. Shall we go to your
Yes.
clinic?
We shall.
Galen gets back in the car.
Fair warning,
Huh?
I do have a guest at the clinic.
Is
Yeah.
it tasty?
Don't.
I don't know. I
Right.
use him to make
Please.
drugs that work on vampires.
Ah, it's fine. I eat animals anyway, if you don't remember.
Yes. So, yeah, let's head back.
Hey, don't hurt him. Remember, we can't.
I
Yeah,
have no
we need
intention
to
of hurting
return
him
him.
beyond using him as a bit of a drug mule, but
He's also apparently gonna be a dad. So
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not.
What?
That is what I'm. Huh? That's what I'm most.
You became
Buongiorno.
Victoria.
That's what I'm.
My accent is very infectious, I understand.
That's what I'm most concerned about. I'm hoping to have a conversation with Bree tonight, but can't do that, so it'll have to be tomorrow. We've got until midnight.
Never heard thin bloods being able to have children.
No,
That is
we can ask her.
concerning and fascinating.
Yeah, especially if either Dean or whoever the hell's making the tender sugar is, I look for cockroaches.
Wits investigation. You know, well, let me preface it this way. Likely you were being followed. So the cockroach can't be so far away from its host. You did see them leave.
Hmm.
You can still roll me wits
Yeah.
and awareness if you like.
Still
Yeah, I want to.
Going to buy up the entire stock of Raid tomorrow evening.
Yes. Oh dear.
Know anybody who's Gould an exterminator?
That's it's one. Wait, what? I've got more dice than that. That's weird. They've
I
rolled two.
should explain. South Carolina does not have cockroaches. Instead, we have things called palmetto bugs. They fly. Flying cockroaches.
Horrific. I'm never
Oh,
moving to
hell
South
no.
Carolina.
That's horrible. I'm gonna spend a willpower to reroll too because Hunter is like just done with not being caught off guard right now. So he's gonna roll two more. It doesn't help, but I got two.
Lots of bugs fly around in Myrtle Beach. Palmetto bugs are particularly large and round and black, and they are a type of cockroach. It's kind of hard to see if there's one hanging around. Could be.
Let's go inside. I'm done.
why don't you just show us what you mean? You know?
Oh yeah, we've got our cryptolect.
Didn't think you'd have to use it when there is nobody else around. Now you might.
Except there might be. Yeah, okay. Can't even remember what I was gonna say, but he's like, the kid is probably important unless it was a complete accident. Whoever Dean wants them to be, whoever is making the tender sugar wants them to be, I'm betting on tender sugar people. Because the thin bloods, they're disappearing. Whoever they are, they're not good people. But they are the people who are against the people that we hate right now. And I go inside.
All right.
Hunter, are you planning on spending the night again in Pirate's Voyage.
I don't think I've got anywhere else to go.
Well, you have plenty of places that you can go.
Not as safe
whether
as
you
this
want to-
one.
Not as safe as this one. This is your safest place.
This is my safest place, and that's why he is going to risk.
And before
staying
we end
here.
our session, I would like you to roll what you know I want you to roll.
Yeah.
Galen and Victoria drive off back to the clinic. Perhaps they've mended whatever has soured between their relationship, or they're working on it. Astrid is now here without Sarah. Be lonely in that room before you close your eyes to the day. Anthony, of course, you find the bathroom you like to sleep in this place.
Actually, Hunter invites Astrid to spend day sleep with him in the same place as he does. It's much more comfortable than the guest area.
That is up to Astrid if she accepts.
She hesitates for a moment, but then accepts because I don't think she's not used to sleeping without a ghoul around.
And Sarah was a nice companion for the short time she was
Yeah.
with you.
It feels safer in numbers.
You will notice, of course, that I locked myself in the bathroom. There's a
Sorry.
noise. Yeah, it's fine. I do it every night. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see it underneath, but I also cover the lower part between the floor and the door with a towel. from
Is that
inside.
2 successes, Josh?
So I double checked, and it's not successes, it's tens. As
Oh,
far as I'm aware.
I thought it was successes. It's tens? How many tens you roll?
Yep. It is equal to my Bane severity.
Which is 1.
I think with the errata it's 2.
Oh dear.
Yeah, which
Yep.
is why I rolled 2. But I receive aggravated damage equal to the number of 10s rolled as they are scorched from within.
Wait,
So you
what?
receive aggravated damage equal to the number of tens rolled?
Yes, that seems to be
You
it.
did not roll any tens, so therefore you receive no aggravated damage.
Whew. He
Oh,
risks
so
it.
they do it like Stains with Oblivion. That's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What?
So for
I
a
missed
moment, you
everything.
think
What is this?
This
Ravnos.
is the Ravnos Bane,
no Spain.
which is
Right.
what Hunter has. So, yeah, he risked Astrid seeing him burn a little
Burst
from
into
inside
flame.
out,
Mhm.
which would have been alarming.
really no reason at all. It's
Just normal vampire things, right?
Fire sprout shooting out of his ears. No, don't worry. This is normal.
you wonder why I hide in the bathroom.
Before we end our session, is there anything any of the characters would like to say to one another or to anyone else?
Just wish everyone a good night. Tell them to be safe.
Sir.
Galen?
Yes,
No,
Anthony?
is he?
Galen has left with Victoria,
Yeah,
but he
but
wished you all
yeah.
a good night.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually
You
wanted
Just
to
text
ask-
me or call me. Like,
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to worry about Galen's safety with Victoria with him.
I will text Galen and I will ask him, do you want your sister dead?
Ooh. Do I want her dead? No. Does she need to die? Probably.
Thumbs up emoji.
I feel like you should never answer that kind of thing with a fucking emoji.
Thumbs up emoji. I'll make that note.
We are barreling towards a misunderstanding, and I love it.
Yep. That's why I'm making the note. Anyone else?
No, not from Hunter.
All right. So, the night is over. Things you have learned and the mysteries that still remain will have to be saved for the next night, which will be our next session, which will be quite a while from now because we all have things going on And so not until the end of February will at least I be free, unfortunately, unless you guys want to jump in and storytell for me at some point.
Same for me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody. The chat was amazing. I tried to interact with it more and watch it more, but I failed halfway through. Yeah, you guys are absolutely incredible. I know this session wasn't as action-packed. There wasn't as much going on, but it's obviously ramping up for the next session, all of the little strings of information.
There wasn't
A
so
little bit.
much shooting, but there was a lot going on. That was crazy. I love that scene.
I'd say so. I'd say it was pretty tense.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys. You're so amazing. I'm sorry I'm like low energy now because it's really late and I went way over time because I'm really good at being an SD. So Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazing. Josh, thank you for hosting this and just, being the absolute best. Kitsu, you're so good. You're so amazing. And Harry took a lot of the brunt of a lot of the characters today and did it like a champ. I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of this chronicle. You guys are the best.
Great
Thank you
chronicle.
so much,
Really
Huddy.
fun. So thank you, Huddy.
You are
You're so
excellent
good.
storyteller.
Yeah,
Yes,
Huddy, you're
storytelling. I
fantastic.
love it.
It's an absolute pleasure.
You heard it here first. Huddy's the best. So
It's true.
until next time, thank you for watching. We will catch you in a couple of weeks.